I'm back with another Ratchet review. This time I am doing a low down dirty shame from 1994. Now, bitch, these people over on Rotten Tomatoes gave this movie a 4%. This is blatant racism, and I won't. And that's my verdict. That's my verdict as to why this movie has been rated a 4%. Anyway, let's get up into it. By the way, Keenan Ivory Wayans wrote and directed this movie. So it starts out with Shame, former cop, looking at newspaper headlines of a botched police raid that he was a part of. He burns the newspapers. We then meet Peaches, played by Jada Pinkett. Jada, oh, she tore. Oh, she was, She's doing housekeeping at a hotel where she walks in on a guy shitting and delivers the iconic line, "Can you spell Lysol?" God damn. There's a hotel room in which an exchange for diamonds is taking place. Peaches comes in with her cart. The men doing the exchange wants her out, and out of her cart comes Shame, instructing everyone to put their pieces, I gotta say pieces on YouTube, to put their pieces down. He tells Peaches to go get the cart, despite her wanting to stay because she wants the smoke. Once in the lobby, Peaches informs Shame that he needs to get out because there are more men headed up to the room and that she'll have the car waiting for him. Shame gets his diamonds, shit pops off, the pieces are blazing in this little ass hotel room, and Keenan Ivory Wayans, his fine ass, he looked good. We get some fun action shots as Shane escapes the hotel room. Peaches pulls out her piece as she forces the getaway car driver to wait for Shane. Shane jumps through the hotel restaurant window to land directly in the limo. He hands the man the diamonds who he was on an assignment for, who he was only paying $10,000. He was only paying Shane $10,000 for all of that. The man risking his life for that. Anyway, we learn that Shame has his own business as a private investigator. Peaches works for him and the business is struggling. Shame gets a visit from Sonny and his back. Whom he used to work with as a cop. Sonny asks Shame if he'd like to work a personal case with him. A woman, Angela, whom Shame has history with, came to see Sonny allegedly to tell him that an Ernesto Mendoza, whom Shame allegedly unalived, is actually alive and that she was living with this man. Sonny shits on Shame and says that he's giving him a chance to get even. He even calls himself a friend. Now, Sonny... Shame, that is not your friend. The woman, Angela, who ratted on Mendoza, that Shame knows is in LA. He agrees to help Sonny. Sonny has snake-ass energy from the jump, at the door. Shame reveals that Angela left him for another man. Peaches is able to find some info on Angela from the shop where she gets her perfume. Shame approaches Mendoza's people so they can tell him that he knows that Mendoza is alive. Shit gets messy, which leads to Mendoza pulling up on Shame, having his men beat Shame's ass, and Mendoza tells him to stay out of his business. Mendoza don't play. Okay? Shane goes to Peach's place where she nurses him back to life. She clearly likes him and she expresses that. But Shane says that they don't have anything in common. Peaches says that they both love boxing but disagree on the greats. Peaches says that Mike Tyson is the greatest. Shane says that Muhammad Ali is. We get another iconic line when Shane says that Tyson can't spell Muhammad Ali, and then Peaches says Muhammad Ali can't spell Muhammad Ali. I mean, everything. Everything. Thank you. Okay, Keenan? Peaches lets Shame stay in her roommate's room for the night. Shame has the impression that Peaches' roommate is a woman, but finds out the next morning that it's really an iconic queen. Wayman. Iconic. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. The next morning, they have an exchange at breakfast as Shame is feeling salty about ending up in bed with Wayman. Wayman is absolutely hilarious and I live. Peaches then goes to Angela's P.O. box to pick up her mail. They find out that she'll be going to a certain shop. This is where we get a cameo from Keenan Wayans. She was all bougie and uppity at first until Shane gets on a payphone and calls the store letting her know that she won a contest. We then see the true version of this woman, which was hilarious. Keenan Wayans has always been fucking hilarious to me. So because the woman goes on break because she just won this alleged contest, Angela, who is supposed to be going to this store, can't since it's temporarily closed, and so she ends up going to a spa. And Shane follows her and encounters Wayman there. Shane sabotages Wayman and Bernard. Bernard is Wayman's boyfriend. This is his man. Okay, Shane sabotages their relationship so that he could blackmail Wayman into helping him find Angela. Sidebar, this actor who played Wayman, his name is Corwin Hawkins, and he actually passed away in 1994 when the movie was released of pneumonia. I just really thought that was really sad, and I think that actor was absolutely phenomenal in this role and is still such a big part of this film. Shane finds Angela at her hotel and he informs Sonny. Mendoza instantly finds out that Angela has been found, which hints that Sonny is working for Mendoza. Shane really did love Angela, but she broke his heart. She tells Shane that she's been in protective custody for some time and that the only reason she didn't testify against Mendoza is because he was tipped off, which allowed him to flee. This whole thing was set up and Sonny was in fact lying. Angela never went to Sonny for anything. It was a scheme that Todd set up, because next thing you know, all of Mendoza's men are pulling up to this hotel. Shane and Angela managed to flee by playing dress up after robbing some hotel guests. They hijack one of Mendoza's men's cars and we get a shootout / car chase scene that was fun and resulted in Shane and Angela getting away. That night, Shane leaves Peaches to watch Angela while he goes to handle business. Mendoza's having a party that Sonny shows up to, pissed because Mendoza sent his men after Angela. Sonny threatens Mendoza and Mendoza checked his ass and threatened him in return, and Sonny fixed his tone very quickly. Shane then gets all sexy and shaves. We see his long trench coat. He is ready for action. Back at Peaches, she is living, watching the Jeffersons. She clearly don't fuck with Angela and vice versa. Angela shades Peaches, saying that Shane is still in love with her. Peaches says she's through with her and calls her a gold digger and tells her she better not hurt Shane again. Angela references a dog that she and Shane had that she put to sleep because it snapped at her. Peaches at this point is now ready to box and tells Angela she can leave and does an air bicycle kick that is absolutely amazing. Angela makes her exit. As Angela leaves, Peaches sees Shane's old lieutenant at her door. Shane finds out where Mendoza is after kidnapping his guy Lewis and dropping him off at a white power rally. Chow. Shane pulls up to Mendoza's club and of course shit pops off. They pulled out the fire and all girl. Wayman and Bernard were at the club, okay, and in the middle of everything, Wayman decides it's a good idea to call Shane. Mendoza then uses Wayman as bait and he shoots at Wayman, but thankfully Shane was able to save him. Okay, Wayman was hilarious here because he wasn't actually shot, but he was acting as if he was, and it was only red wine on his shirt. It was so gay and so fabulous. I loved it. Mendoza ends up escaping the club. That was his club, by the way. Shane goes back to Peaches where Lieutenant tells him he fucked up. Peaches refers to Angela as Pocahontas and is upset that Shane didn't tell Angela about her. Shane tells Lieutenant about Mendoza and what he needs to do to prepare for him trying to flee, and then he leaves. Shane finds Angela at a storage facility with a suitcase of stolen money. Sonny and Mendoza go to kidnap Peaches, who was in protective custody. Sonny ain't shit, and Peaches did manage to give his ass the business first. Back at a motel, Shane almost ends up fucking Angela, which to me says he was still in love with her. Mendoza calls Shane and tells him that he has Peaches, and of course Shane is on his way to save her, but not before Angela tries to stop him. Okay, and it pisses her off that Shane chooses Peaches over her. They all meet at Mendoza's mall. Shame confronts Sonny for being a snake. I knew it from the jump. It was all about the money for Sonny, and he says that he only kept Shame alive so that he could take the blame. Oh, Sonny, you ain't shit. They're now supposed to do a trade-off with Peaches and Angela on the escalator, but Shame sends a mannequin instead of Angela, and then shit goes down. Shame puts a piece on the escalator for Peaches to get, and they both start popping off, shooting the shit, okay? And Peaches really was as good as she said she was the entire movie. Shame then tells Peaches that they need to split up and for her to go to his car to wait for him, but not before they tell each other that they love one another, okay? Peaches said it first though, okay? Shame ends up being chased by some of Mendoza's dogs and ends up singing James Brown, I'm Black and I'm Proud, to save his life, which he learned from Peaches from a newspaper she was reading that he despised. So look at that, Shame, and end up saving your life. Sonny runs into Angela, who had the money. She seduces him long enough to get her piece to take him out. Peaches runs into Mendoza, but Shame comes in to save her. Shame and Mendoza squares up and Shame whoops his motherfucking ass. Shame then handcuffs him and tells him he's under arrest, but then Angela shoots Mendoza and almost shoots Shame until Peaches shows up and wears Angela's ass out, bitch. She took her out, okay? Shame's former lieutenant, after it's all over, had no choice but to release Shame after learning that Shame really did do a lot of good in this case. I still, as an adult, thought this was a great film. Yes, a lot of the action is unrealistic, but so what? It's an action movie. It's fictional. It's not gonna be realistic, bitch. I still enjoy it. Jada Pinkett, this is one of her best roles. She was every Black woman at this time. Every Black American woman at this time, it was Peaches, okay? And Jada really brought her to life. Jada is like a standout to me in this film. Love, love, love her. Love Keenan Ivory Wayans and what he did for his family, the things and the work that this man put in to secure his family's future, and how they all work to all remain successful. It's just really inspiring to me. Let me know what y'all think about this Ratchet review and a low down dirty Shame. And as always, I will see y'all next time.